We're a media brand, and a contemporary media brand has to do lots of things. So we do lots of things, like other companies, to connect with our readers. So whether that's conferences, events, running cafes, spaces where you can come into the Monocle environment. We use digital where it makes sense. So we have radio shows that get made into podcasts that go out on iTunes. That's super helpful to us. But when you strip everything away, if there was, when people say, if there's a fire in your house, what would you save? The thing that is the heart of the magazine company is still the magazine. Those 10 issues still inform everything that we do. And it's not that the journalism is better there than in other parts of the business, but that is the foundation of the company that we've built. So new, old, I think we're all of those things and many more besides. This is our media brand, our story, and lots of other people have found interesting ways of navigating what's out there and being successful. For us, what we're trying to do is have deep, meaningful connections with our readers. So if we can bring them into events and conferences, then there's an opportunity for us to really engage with them. And as I said, that's why people, I think, stay with us for 12 years. I go to events that Monocle does, or I'm even in the street and people will say, "Hi, do you remember me? I'm the person who met 2 years ago, we spoke." Now that's the kind of connection we have with readers. I have a strange thing that if anyone ever comments, there's a comment button on the daily email that we send out, the newsletter, and at the weekend. They don't know, but actually it pops into my email, so I get them on a Saturday. Everyone will have a reply, even if they're saying they disagree with the story or they have a different point of view. Every single person over the next couple of days would get an email from me or from the team member who'd written that story. So we make sure that we're not distant from people. We're there. We can easily be connected with. All our emails are there in the front of the magazine. You can easily get hold of us. And we try to be genuine in how we look after people. So whether that's a subscriber and an issue goes missing in the post, you don't phone up a fulfillment house. You phone up somebody who sits in our office who will take it seriously and will try and find out what happened and probably send you a new issue as well. So all of those things make important connections. And I think, like many magazines, we're also trying to encourage people to be subscribers. We love the newsstand, we're passionate about the newsstand, but unfortunately in places like London, too many newsstands have closed and disappeared. So it's even more important that we make these relationships and look after people and bring them into the world as subscribers. There are people who are passionate advocates for what we do. You can get on a plane and you can sit next to somebody who's reading Monocle. Not only will they read it, they'll try and talk to you about it. There are people who know more about the brand than I think I do. There are people who are real dedicated supporters of what we do. But there are hundreds of magazines out there, and occasionally someone will say to me, I don't think your magazine's quite right for me. I'm not sure that I agree with the take that you have on a particular topic. And my response is always the same. Don't worry, that's fine by me. There's 100 other magazines. Find the magazine that you love. Of course I want people to like us, to be part of our story. But there are some people you'll never persuade, and I don't think that I can persuade everyone. For example, we're going through a moment in all of our countries, well, maybe not here in Portugal, certainly in many European countries, where people are pulling themselves in. They're less willing to look beyond their borders for ideas and inspiration. But Monocle is not. Monocle has remained defiantly global, open to the world in a way that some people now find difficult. And I've had emails from people saying, I think you're going to struggle because people don't want to know about the rest of the world anymore. They want to know about their own countries. And so, of course, there are plenty of readers out there who don't agree with what I say or what we say in the magazine. But on the whole, we've found that, as I said, this community that they're in sync with what we're doing, and they often feel that we're articulating something about their lives. one of the most important things about the magazine is, I think, a belief in opportunity, a belief that while there may be difficult things happening in the world, that actually you should engage with it, that it's kind of great to go out there and do things. So a good Monocle story for us is often a story that has a bit of ambition in it, that encourages you to perhaps rethink something, go and do something. But it's often the hyper-local story that seems to have a resonance with our readers just as much as, we interviewed President Macron just before his election. Great story, lots of people read it. But I can also run a story about, a woman fighting to protect her corner store and who's reinvented it for the community. And that story will be read by just as many people because that story resonates with somebody sitting in London or in San Francisco or in Cape Town. They're all facing these same questions about how cities are made. So I often say to people, you need to kind of set yourself a little test mark as journalists for Monocle, and I call it the Sydney Beach test, which is that you write a story in London, it's a cold winter's day, but actually our magazine is going to be on sale in Sydney in a few weeks' time. It's hot and people are at the beach and they've taken their copy of Monocle. Do the things that you're talking about, do they have some resonance that will travel seasons halfway around the world and connect with people? And as I said, often it turns out yes, because the story about how to make your community better, how to make your city better, about transportation, about density of buildings, about whether you want more high-rises, about migration, about opportunity for your kids, about craftsmanship, about entrepreneurship, about design, about what makes good fashion, about manufacturing jobs. All of those questions, we all connect with them, and it's our job to try and find stories that bring them to life in hopefully an ambitious and mostly positive way.